Good to be on the show again.
So how are you doing today?
I'm really good. I'm really good. Obviously, we've just had a little quick, brief discussion about XRP winning its trial. It was declared that it isn't a security. So that's something good and something exciting to look forward to and to look up to at the moment, because obviously we know we are in a bit of a bear market. So it's quite nice to see. Wow.
Look at this.
We love that.
Look at this. So do you think this is a confirmation that we are in the early stage of the bull market?
I think we could say, definitely there are indications that we are heading towards a bull market. This wouldn't be the first indication. However, I would say, yeah, I think we are heading towards a bull market just because it was kind of expected, I think, as we were heading into that bear market, that there was going to be a time where regulatory bodies were going to be coming in quite strong on crypto and actually, trying to trying to figure out where the cryptocurrency stands. And I feel like, the regulation, the legal side behind it was needed before the next bull run was going to happen. So the fact that XRP, they've been or Ripple, some people might know it, they've kind of been under scrutiny for quite a while now, and the fact that they finally won their case is huge, huge bullish news ahead of potential bull market. So I would say, yeah, I would say definitely, we're edging towards that kind of bull market.
Yeah, I think so. Because like to see a coin like this move, this is huge. About
Yeah.
1x in second. I watched this coin like, I was like, what is going on? Yeah. And Bitcoin also responded in the same way. Today, I just want us to like look at the other side of crypto that most people are not aware of, which is NFT. And this is something that is an aspect of crypto that I think is gonna impact almost everyone on earth who is connected to the internet. So if say you use the internet at one point in the future, you are gonna be connected to Web3 somehow. I don't know how, but you're gonna be connected to the Web3. And I think if say this is gonna impact us, so we can discuss about it, bring some expert, in the field, who can share some light about it. And yeah, we have Lore. She's a blockchain specialist. She helps businesses, entrepreneurs to start up in the crypto space, NFT space, and she does one-on-one in the space. She does a lot, education. She have her own platform on YouTube. She create a lot of content also on LinkedIn. So after this, you can check her out. She's doing amazing, and also you can connect with her as well on LinkedIn. Before we continue, I just wanted to share this recent post that she did today. Is about this Bitcoin metaverse. The bitmap becomes most hodled digital real estate. So she's gonna throw more light about that. But before we go, let me just play this so we listen to it briefly. What Laura have to say about this?
What's good, people? I'm Ray Keynes, WTF Crypto, and today we are talking about Bitmaps, which has become the #1 metaverse by unique owners. So this Ordinals protocol, which launched just 30 days ago by developer Hitoshi Lokomoto, has now got 18.3 thousand holders, which outdoes popular metaverses such as Decentraland. So it's got a trade volume of 9 Bitcoin, and essentially every block transaction that goes onto the Bitcoin blockchain can now become a piece of digital real estate. So it is completely minted out, but as new blocks are mined and new transactions are created on the Bitcoin blockchain, people can actually buy those blocks as pieces of metaverse real estate. So will you provide one? Let me know in the comments below, and go ahead and get this article as a
Wow. So now, Laura, can you tell us more about this?
Absolutely. I mean, this is really exciting stuff. So obviously we know that ordinals, or you might not know, but ordinals is a brand new protocol that has come to Bitcoin earlier this year, and it has been taking the market by storm. People are super bullish on ordinals. So what is ordinals? Well, essentially, if you know anything about Ethereum, it is basically kind of like a protocol similar to Ethereum where you can create Bitcoin-based NFTs and Bitcoin-based inscriptions, which basically means you can make dApps or applications on the Bitcoin blockchain. So before, Bitcoin was kind of just a store of value. It didn't really have much use case outside of, you know, being able to purchase it and people having a perceived value of it. But now, because of developers, what they have done is underneath each block, or each block that is mined onto the Bitcoin blockchain, it can now actually carry metadata or inscriptions on the lowest unit of Bitcoin known as a Satoshi. So people can now actually go onto the block and go onto the block protocol and actually have a look at something like Etherscan, actually have a look at, Blockchain Explorer, and actually have a look and see the metadata that people are putting on there. So you can put, you know, pictures on there, like NFTs, PFPs, but now because of Satoshi Nakamoto, you can actually put digital real estate. So developers have also created something called Bit Valley, which is in itself a metaverse, such as, you know, you might be familiar with Decentraland. So this metaverse, you can actually go on there and gameplay in it, you can interact with other people, you can watch videos, and it's all done via the Bitcoin blockchain. So it's quite technical to understand, I think, initially, but essentially all it is that every time people are doing transactions on the Bitcoin network, those transactions can now be reiterated into parcels of land in the metaverse. Of course, developers are very clever. They've actually made a user interface where you can interact with the Bitcoin blockchain in an immersive way, and that's really what the metaverse is. It's just an immersive way to interact with other people who are using the blockchain. So yeah, really exciting news.
Wow, that's big, that's huge. Okay, I think ordinals are gonna be like before I was thinking, okay, ordinals are gonna be the catalyst for the next bull market. Well, we are seeing lots coming on, and one challenge is I realized with the ordinals, NFT is that it costs a lot. Like it costs a lot of congestion on the big Bitcoin blockchain. So if say we keep seeing this ordinance on the blockchain, I think it might at one point slow, let me say, adoption, Bitcoin adoption. We might see Bitcoin becoming like it that most investors are complaining about. So I don't know, maybe one application will pop up somehow that is gonna be more cheaper, like how we see other layers, layer 2 solutions and layer 1 popping on the Ethereum blockchain. So I didn't actually introduce Bolo. Bolo is a blockchain and crypto reporter at TechPoint Africa. I stumbled on one of his, I think one of a program that they host on that channel, and they were talking about AI. I was researching on AI in Africa, and I got this video, and I was like, wow, these guys are interesting, creating conversations about this stuff. And I say, if say Bolo is actually a part of the crypto industry, reporting about different aspect of the industry, then there's so much he have to say about NFT, which is gonna be a thing in the future, which is already, it's not in the future, it's already integrated into AI, because we now see AI NFTs, So like Bolo, like what do you see NFT like, or what will you say NFTs are, and to you, and like, to someone like, I want you to describe it to someone who is a layperson, so they can
Yeah.
understand like how NFT, like what NFT is and how they can interact with NFT, getting we're like together with Web3.
All right. Yeah. So I think I've defined NFT in several ways, and you know, it over the course of defining it so many times, I think I've sort of found a way to like really dumb it down for people so that they really understand what it means and how it works. So NFTs are just non-fungible tokens that basically they're basically tokens that when you, let's look at it from the perspective of fiat now, right? Yeah. So if you have a dollar, right, um, you can easily swap it with another dollar. A dollar with me is the same thing as a dollar with you, but with NFTs, it's quite different, right? I have a dollar, but then I once I sign on that dollar, it's kind of different from the dollar that is with you, right? So that is what it means when something is non-fungible. It just can't be easily swapped. It is something unique about it, right? And in more technical terms, I think we call those metadata, right? And that is what makes each NFT unique, right? Yeah. So NFTs are basically, the metadata now is what makes each NFT very unique. So when you see a picture, I think pictures, paintings are the most popular form of NFT. So when you see an image of me, for example, and um, it has been tokenized, right? What makes it unique is the metadata, behind that picture, right? So if you see just another random picture of me on Twitter, on Instagram, um, no one can just screen grab that and say, "Oh, I want to sell this as an NFT." You can't do that. What really makes it unique is the metadata behind that one that has been tokenized. Right. So NFTs is basically a technology that helps you create like a certificate for digital that helps it create a certificate for like anything that can be digitized. Talk about artworks, talk about music, basically anything. And recently we've even seen real estate, right? So you now have this digital form of things that can be physical sometimes not necessarily physical, but you can now create this unique thing, right, for each, for everything that is on that's on the internet, right? Yeah. So basically, I think I kind of made it a little bit more complicated, but basically those are what NFTs are, right? NFT is a technology that helps you create a unique version, of either a physical product, a physical something of intellectual value, or something that is predominantly digital, basically.
Yeah, that means if say like let me just make it like to my like let me just assume I'm a layman, right? I'm
Okay.
a farmer. Like I have I cultivate crops and
Mm,
I'm interested in NFT. How
okay.
can that be? How can I tokenize my crops? How
Very,
can I do that?
very, very interesting questions. That's actually a very interesting question. Yeah. So I think one way to look at this is there's been something I've been noticing recently, which is how a group of people have been trying to use blockchain to help farmers insure their crops, right? Yeah, but I'm going to tweak what they did with that a little bit to really answer your question. So you're a farmer, right? You're interested in NFTs, and you're like, okay, what can I do? Can I tokenize my crops? Can I tokenize my land? So one thing you can actually do is you can tokenize your land, for example. So the land is yours, right? Um, you can go, there are platforms that allow you um, convert. So where if you have the details For example, you have your, in Nigeria we call it certificate of occupancy. Those are some of these documents you need to have, to certify that a land is yours, right? So you can take these documents, put them on the blockchain, right? And then add tokenize them, which means you then embed a metadata. A metadata, it now backs these documents, right? As a farmer. So as a farmer, you now have your land, your physical land on the blockchain, right? It's now an
Yeah.
NFT. So say you want to sell it, you want to sell that land, right? Once you transfer, it's still, there's still a little bit, as a farmer you probably don't even know where you need to go to tokenize it, or you probably don't even know how to use MetaMask or things like that. But just to keep it simple, you can now sell it to someone very easily, right, without even seeing or knowing the person, right? So NFTs make it super simple, super straightforward to do that, right? So once I click buy, and then the NFTs come to my wallet, I know that land is mine, right? Because
Yeah.
you've tokenized them, because you've put those physical documents on the blockchain, and now there's a metadata behind them, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for you as a farmer, that way you're already into NFTs in a way,
Yeah.
right? And then you can go a step further, and I don't know, maybe whatever produce you that comes off the land, maybe you want to share gains, things like that. But those are more complex, more complex things. But basically, put your land on the blockchain, and yeah, into
Yeah.
NFTs.
So, Lore, I mean, I know you have like come across multiple companies or people just like ask you questions, business like small businesses, like this NFT stuff, this Web3 stuff. How can I be part of it? Like, or maybe you've seen met people that you saw opportunities in their business that if they tokenize it, they put it on the blockchain, they can actually add more value to the business. Now, like the reason why I want to make this really simple because most of the people that I come across, are people who actually understand nothing. They don't want to, like they don't understand anything about tokenomics. It's big, like so like
Mm.
let's just say like first of all can you replace tokenomics with something else
Mm.
and so that people can understand tokenomics like let use real world example that people can understand. But I think when we mention NFT, we mention Web3, all these are new words, right? So like but if say we try to meet people where they are, like even halfway, I think to one extent we can communicate with them properly. So look at like, what do you think? Let me say a local shop owner, like someone who, I mean, they have no idea, like, but you've seen them, like, okay, I think if say you're like you saw that if say this person is into the NFT space, or let me say they meet you and they say, okay, they have heard about NFT, right, and they want you to like tell them how they can go, like, wow, how will you approach someone with regard to that?
Yeah, I'll just say, I mean, it does get really technical because of the protocols behind it. But I think just put simply is um, everything that you post on the internet today, including your email, social media, text messages, you do not own the data and you do not benefit from the data. However, with NFTs and with blockchain, you own a wallet which is linked directly back to you. And so anything that you mint through that project or anything you upload onto the internet, through that wallet, you own and you benefit from it. And the data always comes back to you. So with NFTs, non-fungible tokens, it's just a way of you being able to tell the world that you own this picture, you own this post, you own this, whatever type of digital file you put on the internet, free blockchain, it is on there. Nobody can change it. you own it, it's come from your wallet. And that's really all it is. It's just this new internet where the big whales like the Zucks and, the Musks now, and, people who are centralized, they own essentially these internet companies. They own all your data. You're posting pictures of your kid, you're posting pictures of your cat or whatever on Facebook. They're benefiting from all of, all the interactions and all the clicks, all the likes, all the shares. They're benefiting from it, and you're not getting anything. But with blockchain, by minting your own NFTs, creating your own protocols through NFTs, you can actually own that data and benefit from it. So I would say the easiest way, I don't know if I'm going to do a screen share, but I can show you,
Yeah, sure.
So we can look at, hopefully that's coming through clear. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, okay, so this is OpenSea, this is my profile, but OpenSea is a great kind of layman's way of getting involved in NFTs. So this is an NFT marketplace, and they have all kinds of NFTs on here. They have PFPs, artwork, but they also have things like gaming, so you can buy in-game assets. So again, like the skins and things that you buy currently in gaming, you wear them to have like social standing with your friends while you're playing games, but you don't necessarily always have benefit from it. So let's say, for example, you buy like a sword in a game or something like that, and you use it in the game, and people are like, wow, you won that battle. You don't necessarily have a secondary market through it with the current gaming system. But with NFTs, if I change that sword into an NFT, I can now sell that after I've won my tournament, and it will have more value because I've won that tournament. So by creating an NFT, you create more value out of it, and it becomes more immersive. You have this more interactive internet. So, there's games on here that you can play, but then, sometimes you can buy assets. There's also things like memberships. So the Bored Ape Yacht Club, for example, although it is a PFP, and people like Snoop Dogg, they actually made like a restaurant out of their PFP pictures, but you can also assign memberships to it. So the Bored Ape Yacht Club, if you have one of these Bored Apes, you can actually go to their yacht parties and show your NFT and get access to the yacht parties, and rub shoulders with people who are in that club, people like Kylie Jenner, people like Snoop Dogg, and people like Eminem, who actually own these NFTs. So these NFTs can also be a proof of ownership and a proof of membership as well. So you've got all these membership NFTs, and you've got normal PFPs, photography. So even if you take pictures, like I said, you might enjoy posting pictures of your cat, or whatever. You might have a page that's got thousands of likes, but you're not necessarily getting anything back from it. So you can actually put your photography up here, make it as an NFT, and grow a community that enjoy those pictures that you post and compensate you directly for the value that you're creating on the internet. And then lastly, there's all kinds of things you can put on here, but music is another great utility, and that's going to be, I think, after gaming. So I think a lot of people are looking at GameFi and obviously artwork, but I think music is going to be like a really disruptive industry. Was it going to open? Yeah, so music is going to be really disruptive industry for NFTs as well, because the creators of the music can actually, make their music as an NFT, and through certain protocols. They're still really quite in development, but you can actually purchase these songs directly and compensate the artist directly without having to go through record labels and publishers who take pretty much the majority of the sale. So this really empowers, if you're an artist, it's really empowering as well. But like I say, OpenSea is a great place to start. All you need to start is going to this website, OpenSea.io, and then connecting your wallet. So I've already connected with my wallet. I'm connected to a MetaMask wallet. But it's very simple. You would just, once you've connected your wallet, you can just come up here and click on create. And this is MetaMask. You can see my screen here. So before you can create anything, it's going to ask you to sign a message, and that signature, again, that is you. That is you showing the blockchain that it is you who is creating something to be put onto the blockchain, and that you are the owner. So that is why we need a wallet, is to be able to actually have proof of ownership. So here, as you can see, to create an item on OpenSea specifically, you can upload any digital file that is of any one of these. So generally it's photo files, GIFs, moving image files, so that you can upload things like 3D files, MP4, so music, videos, and a bunch of other files that you can use here. So you would just upload it onto here, give it a name. You can even put a link to your website. You can give it a description, and then you can decide, if you've got more than one collection, you can decide where you're going to put that. And this is a really cool feature as well, is the unlockable content. So in here, you can put a link to a Dropbox that might be able to download a file, a link to a hidden website, or sometimes on YouTube you can get like hidden content or hidden videos on YouTube. So let's say you're a music artist, you might want to put an MP3 file here for your brand new song that people can buy and listen to. But then you might also want to put unlockable content to a exclusive video on YouTube that only people who hold this NFT can have access to. So this unlockable content is really powerful. Is a really powerful tool, because it means that only people who own the NFT can have access to the other files and other metadata underneath that NFT. So you can choose how much, what supply you want. You can make it a one-of-one, or you can make, 1,000, 10,000 of those NFTs, and then you can choose which blockchain you want to mint it to. So quite popular blockchain is Ethereum, but you have other blockchains on here like Polygon, Binance Chain, and things like that. And then once you've decided on what file you want to put on there, the underlying information, you would just go ahead and click on create. And then I'll show you some that I made earlier. And so these are some of the NFTs that I've created. So as you may or may not know, I have my blog and show called WTF Crypto, which we did have a look at briefly earlier on the show. And every time I make those articles and I publish them to Medium, I then take the artwork and create them as a one-of-one NFT. So we've got this article that we had from Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg has an NFT passport that lets you tour the world. So that is actually the title of the article, and this is the artwork that I make. So I spend a lot of time actually making the artwork for the article, and you can actually put it in there, and it gives a description of these articles. And I've basically made the article, I've made it give it a different purpose. I've actually made these articles now as collectibles, a one-of-one. So this is article 30, it gives the date, and then it gives the first lines of that article. So these articles for WTF Crypto are now collectibles, and within it as well, once you own it, in the unlockable data, you have links to the original article on Medium. So if you love the blog, you like to follow the blog, you believe in it, then you can actually go ahead and purchase it and collect it as a collectible. So that's the utility for this one. However, there's loads of different types of utility NFTs that we did have a look at. One of my favorites are things that have been sent to me actually by my metaverse friends. So let me see if I can actually, this is all created, but you can get wearables for the metaverse. So let me go back and find some of my wearables. So if you have an avatar in the metaverse, you can actually have clothes for it. Let me see. Hold on, let me just try and find. I've got quite a few, so sometimes it's quite laborious trying to look for all of them.
Andrew Tate there.
Yeah, so for example, here, this is a wearable that I have in crypto voxels. So I can actually now have these wearables and these clothing NFT and put them on my avatar. And this becomes valuable because it becomes an identity, it becomes my clothing, but also I can sell these clothings to other people in the metaverse. I've also written a book called How to Manifest Like a God, which is available on Amazon. And this actually links you to this NFT in particular, links you to that book. So I went ahead and made this 3D rendition of the book. And in the unlockable content, oh, my battery is running low. Let me charge them, make sure I don't drop out. But while you're once you purchase this NFT, it gives you some unlockable content to how you can actually get this NFT to get the physical book actually sent to your home. So, this is an idea of just a few ideas of how you can create NFTs and the different use cases. And I have a couple of lessons on BitDegree here. So if you want to find out a little bit more, you want to go a little bit deeper into it, you can go over to BitDegree and type in how to give an NFT utility by Lorraine K, Lorraine Knight, and enroll on that and start learning for free on how you can actually create and give an NFT utility.
Wow. There's so much, to digest, and
Yeah.
like listening to her, it gives me this mindset to think that there's lots of opportunities out there,
Mm.
that many people don't know. They don't know that this opportunity even exists in the first place. So now, Bolo, looking at Nigeria is like in the crypto world, like in the world, Nigeria is one of the top countries in crypto, right?
Mm.
That have more people who are into cryptocurrency, but not everyone actually understand this aspect of cryptocurrency. And we see Nigeria have so many artists, have musicians, the ecosystem is so vast. How do you think young people can take advantage of this technology, to build something sustainable for themselves? Because when you look at Africa now in general, what people do most of the time is complaining about the government. But what Lore just showed us right now, this platform is free of charge. You don't have to pay anything, to host an NFT there, to launch your artwork there, to build
Mm.
something that you can bring some people together or your community together, and then they support you on that initiative. So what do you think is actually the problem going on right now with most people that you connect with regarding this NFT Web3 stuff? And how do you think we can go about to actually make them understand that there's this opportunity available for them?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go back to the question you asked me about trying to explain Web3, NFTs, all these things to a layman, right? A farmer who probably hasn't even used a smartphone before, right? This is where the real problem is, right? And this is where a lot of people tend to criticize this whole Web3 movement, right? I'm excited about it, but then in the newsroom when I talk about it with my colleagues, and they just throw a lot of holes in it, and they're like, okay, yes, it sounds great. I can use it, you can use it, but you say you want to create wealth for people, right? You say you want financial inclusion. You say you want to, give people an opportunity to own, right? Collective ownership. But these people don't even have internet to begin with, right? These people don't even have a computer to begin with, right? Which is why I think we were finding it very difficult to describe NFTs to a farmer, in the village, without having to use all these buzzwords, metadata, and things like that. Because the truth is, there's really no, I can just tell him it's great. I can tell him it creates a certificate for you that cannot be changed, cannot be forged, cannot be stolen, except you give it to someone. But the next question is the person is going to ask me is how? How does it do this? I tell him through the blockchain. It's like, what is the blockchain, right? And it gets even more difficult to describe these things to them because they don't even have internet to begin with, right? So the main problem with utilizing these things, and actually they're great things, right? Yeah, we saw the platforms Laura showed us, and how beneficial they can be to an average African, but the root of the problem is an infrastructure problem, right? Which is not something that can be solved easily, right? How do you want to make sure that someone has electricity to begin with? Right now, I don't even have my battery is running low, and I'm not even sure I'm going to charge it. So I'm probably going to ask for permission to. Um, I'm probably going to ask for permission to like get my generator started up and keep my computer running. But these are the issues, right? Internet, electricity, right? But I think there has been a lot of progress has been made over the years. We've seen smartphone penetration increase in the country over the years. We've seen a lot of more people using smartphones now, and I think there's a chance for them to take advantage of these things, right? We have a lot of young people that are tech savvy, and I think one of the ways to do this is keep we need um projects, Web3 projects, Web3 companies that actually care, about these people and actually patient enough to let them know, okay, this is where you create your NFT. Are you an artist? Do you draw? Do you sing? This is how you do it, right? We have a couple of people. I know some guys, they're actually trying to help artists in Nigeria, put their songs, tokenize their songs, trying to help them make money from it, and and stuff like that. But the real problem is we really need to find a way to solve that root problem, and that problem it's not a small problem, to be honest. It's a very big problem, but with the ones that are already inside the system, right, that are already inside that tech system, one thing that can be done is to find organizations, like I said, organizations, projects, companies that really truly care about them, right? Not just because I myself have been a victim of a lot of scam projects that tell you, oh, you can get this happens, you can do this, but when you don't really know how to go about it, you will get burnt, along the way, and most people look at it and be like, this
Yeah.
this is probably just yeah. We just need to find a way to pass the message across to them as simply as possible, right? As simply as possible, as easily as possible. With Africa, you just have to be very unique with everything you do. You can't pass the message the same way you pass it to someone in the UK or in the US, and pass
Yeah,
it to
that's
an
why that's
African.
why I
No,
was that's why I was like to try to make it to like for a layman to understand, because I know
exactly,
to an
exactly,
extent,
exactly.
maybe people gonna
Mm,
watch you, gonna watch us,
mm,
they might, not really get it. But I understand what you're
mm-hmm.
saying.
Yeah.
It's a challenging situation, because if say I'm an artist in Africa and most of my fans are from Africa and they don't even have an internet, right? And
Mm,
even if they have an internet, they don't have a laptop, but I think that alone, as you mentioned, shouldn't be a challenge to an extent. If say the organizations or the people who are trying to push for this adoption build infrastructures that is going to
mm,
accommodate these problems, right? So I
mm,
think if say we want a farmer to tokenize their crops,
mm.
then we should build an environment for them to be able to access and give them the
Exactly,
necessary tools that they can actually integrate
exactly.
this in the blockchain. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so these are all business ideas that people can, like
Yes,
this is
yes.
is huge. right?
Yeah, and I've actually seen people, doing something about this. Like I said earlier, I've seen there's a particular company called EtherRisk, right? So what EtherRisk does is it provides insurance for Kenyan farmers with smart contracts and blockchain, right? So it does this in a very interesting and unique way. There's also another company called Ensuro doing the same thing. So this is how it works, right? So um, they want those farmers to insure their crops against unforeseen conditions such as drought, floods, whatever might happen, right? So what happens is that when those farmers get their seeds to plant, right, you know even if they don't have smartphones, right, and this is really interesting because there are people who do not have smartphones. They're finding a way to include them into things as complicated as smart contracts, as complicated as blockchain, right? So when those farmers get their seeds to plant with, they get a scratch card, right, a USSD, and they just dial that USSD code, right? And once they dial that USSD code, they are insured automatically, right? So the smart contract side of things is okay. In a way it's called parametric insurance, right? So if the farmer insures his crops against flood, for example, right, um the smart contract is connected to certain satellites that detect if the flood actually happens, right? So if the flood actually happens, the farmer gets indemnified, right? And it's not a case of the farmer having to call someone and say, "Oh, please come and confirm and see that the flood actually happened. I lost all my crops." It's smart contracts, right? The smart contract, they've been connected to the satellites in a way that once it happens, the smart contract is triggered, and then the farmer gets indemnified, right?
Wow.
And just like
Wow.
that, that company has been able to find a way, you know, to use blockchain technology to actually help people that are not in that system, that don't have the necessary infrastructure to, do things as simple as, just opening, a MetaMask wallet and things like that. So I think it can be done. It can be done. We just need
Yeah,
to have
yeah.
people that are really
Everything
ready to
everything is
think and
possible.
innovate. Yeah,
So,
it's
Lore,
possible.
like before you, we're just gonna give you some time. You should go and we are gonna wrap up anytime soon, anyways. But Lore, you, now, like he mentioned some implications of NFTs and let's say to an extent Web3. Now, people might might be victim to scams. So how will you like advise someone out there who want to get into this space? Like how will you advise them to navigate, this space to avoid being scammed?
I would say definitely always double check your website addresses. So like the one that I showed you earlier for OpenSea, always make sure that you've got the correct one, because there are lots of phishing scams, and try not to just click on any random link. Go to the Twitter pages, try and look for the Twitter pages, look for the ones that have got the most followers, look for the ones that have got, the CEOs, and you can see that they are posting on there, being retweeted by it. Make sure you go onto their Discord and only, look at the links that have got the Discord link. Don't just click on any link that anyone gives you. Don't give out your seed phrase to anyone. And, try to kind of have a bit of digital awareness and internet safety while operating in these protocols.
Okay, Laura, thanks so much. I know you have to go right now. It was good to have you here. Let's see again next week. It was good to have you here. Have a nice day.
I'll see you next week. Take care.
Yeah, see you next week. Wow, guys. This has been an amazing session so far. Having these awesome people, these fantastic people, share with us lots of information about NFT. And those of you who are wondering, like, what is an NFT? How can you get started with an NFT? You have heard what these guys have mentioned here. There's so much opportunity in this space. If say you are an artist, you are a musician, you are a business, there's so much you can do with NFT. Even if you're a farmer, right? You have farms, or you are into real estate, there's so much you can do within NFT. And in the future, NFT is going to be one of the ways that most people use to protect their asset, to protect their work, to give ownership, give them that ownership of their work, or like them put their work. So I think if say you want to really get involved into NFT, in the NFT space, to understand more about NFT and Web3, then I believe you should connect with me, connect with Lore, or connect with me. I'm going to connect you with this guy, so you can get more information, more knowledge on how you can get started. Lore created a video on how you can get started with NFT and Web3, and also how you can protect yourself. So with all this information, I bring them to you because I want you guys to learn. There are also those of you who are into crypto. Just that Laura didn't have enough time today. She would have shared with us some crypto project that have an NFT that you guys can go and buy their coins, because right now we have seen different crypto project, different coins pumping, and I haven't yet heard anything about NFTs, and we know that NFT coins are gonna pump as well. So you guys can buy NFT coins. I'm gonna be coming up with my own NFT soon. I know you guys are going to, buy my NFT, because buy my NFT is gonna help promote this platform. I think that's the way, or that you can be part of my community and promote what I do. So I haven't said much, guys. I think we're gonna call this a go for today. Those of you who still haven't yet subscribed to this platform, make sure you go and smash the subscribe button right now. Smash it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. When you do, you're gonna help this channel reach out to more people. Don't forget to like, thumbs up, and share this content with someone else out there. Having said that, guys, see you in the next video.